Meanwhile, even as China publicly preaches peace, it seems like it's all prepared for war, using its standard tool, cyber espionage. A report by Microsoft says that critical US infrastructure has been compromised. It blames a state-backed Chinese hacker group dubbed Volt Typhoon. What has this group been doing? Not exactly the explosive activity their name would suggest. Instead, they've been playing the long game. Since at least 2021, Volt Typhoon has been infiltrating network systems across the US. They've been keeping a low profile, maintaining a discreet presence, almost as if lying in wait for the right time to strike. And their choice of targets is also of interest. Besides the US mainland, Volt Typhoon is infiltrating systems in the island of Guam. Our next report brings you the details.
It seems every other week, Chinese hackers are in the news. That too, state-sponsored Chinese hackers, Beijing's shady right hand. They have various nicknames in the intelligence community. We told you about backdoor diplomacy a few days ago and their activities in Kenya. Today, we'll talk about Volt Typhoon, China's sleeper cell of hackers. On Wednesday, Microsoft issued a warning. It found that Volt Typhoon had infiltrated critical US infrastructure. They'd been targeting every sector imaginable across the US, from standard ones like communications, government and transportation, to manufacturing, construction, and even education, basically covering all the bases. And where is Volt Typhoon embedding itself? All over the US and its Pacific Island territory of Guam. Guam is basically a US military colony in the Pacific Ocean. It's at this strategic location close to Japan, the Philippines, and Taiwan. Its position makes it a hub for communication between the US and Asia and Australia. Guam is also within striking distance of Taiwan in case China decides to invade. So you can see why Beijing would have eyes on it. And according to Microsoft, Volt Typhoon is hacking Guam's infrastructure. This will be crucial in the event of an armed conflict. The hackers could use their access to disable communication at a critical moment. It could temporarily blind the US and its allies, creating a window for a Chinese lightning strike. Now, you may wonder, how has Volt Typhoon managed to infiltrate US infrastructure? Doesn't hacking usually mean a quick attack to steal valuable information? Well, Microsoft says the group is using what's called living off the land techniques. This isn't the usual method of targeting people to steal passwords for access. Instead, Volt Typhoon operates with stealth. It manually issues commands over the network, steals credentials from local systems, blends into normal network activity, and even uses open source tools to gain access. That's a lot of jargon. The basic point is this: Volt Typhoon works quietly and maintains access over a long period of time. It doesn't create any waves or leave any digital footprints behind. This makes it difficult to know exactly what it has access to. The only real solution is to change passwords or close accounts frequently. All this was revealed by Microsoft on Wednesday. It set off a flurry of activity in Western security establishments.
We are aware of recent activity by a People's Republic of China sponsored cyber actor to develop a presence in digital networks across the U.S. critical infrastructure sector. The U.S. government and close allies have released a joint cybersecurity advisory to help defenders identify and mitigate any such activity on their networks. And the U.S. intelligence community assesses that China almost certainly is capable of launching cyber attacks that could disrupt critical infrastructure services within the United States, including against oil and gas pipelines and rail systems.
Which nations are shoring up their defenses? The US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. In intelligence circles, they're sometimes collectively referred to as the Five Eyes Alliance. This group was actually formed during World War II and has persisted ever since. Yesterday, China sent a message to the Five Eyes.
Obviously, this is a collective disinformation operation initiated by the United States and mobilized by the Five Eyes countries out of geopolitical purposes. As we all know, the Five Eyes Alliance is the largest alliance organization in the world, and the US National Security Agency is the largest hacking organization in the world. The fact that they teamed up to publish a disinformation report is ironic in itself. As for the participation of certain companies at this time, it shows that in addition to government agencies, the United States is also expanding new channels for disseminating disinformation. This is not the first time, nor will it be the last.
China then went on to accuse the US of being a hacker empire. It cited an incident from last September, saying the US had tried to hack a Chinese university. That doesn't really prove China's innocence, though. It just makes it seem as though everyone's hacking everyone else, which could very well be the case. But this Microsoft report proves one thing, though. The US and the West need to improve their cybersecurity, or risk being a target for an information blackout on Beijing's command.